Sweat was pouring down my face, and I was beginning to feel lightheaded and dizzy. The pain in my knee receded to a dull roar. I knew I was going into shock, and passing out would not include waking up. Death can be a great motivator. I staggered downhill, biting back screams of agony with every step. My vision was blurring and whiting out, but I pushed on. To keep my terror in check, I reasoned with myself I would find safety somewhere in the open terrain. A warm, wet squishing between my toes added to my agony. Blood loss would bring this horror show to a premature end. In front of me, a large tree had fallen down slope into the fork of another tree. The fork was high enough off the ground the wolves could not reach me. I would stop long enough to catch my breath and put a tourniquet above my knee to slow the bleeding. I put the axe into the slit in my vest, straddled the tree trunk, and pushed myself backward up the tree trunk until my back met the fork. With great effort, I stood and pulled the axe out. Leaning forward, trying not to put weight on my injured leg, I drove the axe into the tree trunk with the handle sticking up. If the wolves came for me, they would have to come up the narrow tree trunk and climb around the axe blocking their path. I still had 4 good reasons for them not to. I slumped back against the tree and slowly slid down the trunk until I sat down. Exhaustion gripped me, instead of respite from the pain. Hopelessness had me convinced I wasted the time necessary to escape the wolves and reach safety. My grandfather once told me time was just like money. If you did not spend it wisely, you will always look back with regret at how you foolishly wasted it. I had all the regret I could handle. Movement through the trees let me know my looking back on this may no longer be possible. My heated sweat gave way to a frigid chill. My trembling body convulsed to the point I feared falling from my perch. My intention was to cut a piece of rope from a tourniquet, but in a moment of clarity, reasoned that if the wolf had severed an artery, I would have never made it to my present location before bleeding out. I opted instead to loop the rope around me and up over a broken branch just above my head. This would keep me from falling if I passed out. It was the right choice. I don't know how long I was out, but was jolted awake by a strange voice. Human, the probability you will survive another planetary rotation is 29%. If you survive the coming rotation, your probability for survival is less than 8% for an additional rotation.